Was everybody healthy coming out of the game?
Yeah, everybody's good. No significant injury. We're always triple checking to make sure all the fatigue factors are, those boxes are ticked, that we're doing our jobs, but everybody came out healthy.
Now, you've won your first 2 games against, against real opponents, but teams that a lot of people don't expect to go to the playoffs. How do you keep that mindset hungry going into your next game on the road, which is a much more significant challenge?
Yeah, obviously road games are much more of a challenge, but I'll take a step backwards and actually compliment our 2 opponents. So Cincy went into Atlanta and drew 1-1. So that was a big result for them, get their first point. A local kid, Spencer Ritchie, in goal, which was a little bit of a surprise, but good for him. And then Colorado's a good team. Now, they never quit. And their first game against Portland, when they went down a guy, they never quit. So they might still make some noise. It's a little early for us to be anointed at the top of the pack, and it's a little early for those 2 teams to be anointed at the bottom of the pack. But your question is a good one in the sense of, yes, how do we keep this group motivated to get off to the best start that the Sounders have ever had? How do we erase the moniker of a slow starting team? It'll be a combination of tomorrow will be a fitness day, and they're going to work. And we're going to make it competitive, and they're going to work. The messaging from the staff, again, today in our film session, it wasn't all just, okay, here's the great stuff. It was, okay, this is good, but can we improve here? What do we need to do over here to make sure that we are preparing the squad for, a tough road swing into Chicago?
Jordan Morris and Christian Roldan were called up by USA to play for the national team. What are your thoughts on that? Both players, young, important for the team.
Well deserved. Christian had a really, really monster game. Jordan's been scoring, so that's good. Then you got Gustav and Niku, who are going to be called in. Delam. I think it's great that we have that many internationals.
I was wondering for like Jordan, who had this injury and he came in, had such a good start, and now he gets that kind of boost of confidence from that.
I mean, kid's playing at a pretty high level. I think Greg sees that. I think Greg, brought him down to January camp just to make sure he was around the guys. They did some testing on his knee and all that sort of stuff. So I think Jordan is in the picture or in Greg's mind. The rest of it up to Jordan. I mean, he's got to perform. If he wants to play for our country, he's got to perform.
Were you expecting them to get called up?
Yeah. I always expect those 2 to be involved in the mix. I mean, they're tremendous talents.
CJ Sapong for the Fire, a couple goals early on this season. What are some of the similarities and differences of trying to prepare for him versus Nikolic, who started?
Well, Nikolic a couple years ago was smooth finisher. Everything he touched went in a goal. Sapong's not the same. He's more of a bruiser, good in the air. The goal he scored at the end there from almost the 18-yard box. Different beasts, 2 different players. They had them on the field at the same time, their last game out, so we'll prepare for Chicago.
Henrico was out here. He was knocked up had some kind of issue last week. Is he all right?
He's perfectly healthy, back in training.
What did he have prior to that?
The medical staff is going to kill me. Athletic pubalgia.
Groin pain. He was on
groin
the
pain.
report with groin pain last week.
Groin pain. There you go. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you, Alex.
Early thoughts about Chicago generally. They had some struggles last year, brought in a bunch of new players. What's your general thought on them early this week?
Well, look, they're a good team. Anybody that has Schweinsteiger, Sapong, Nikolic, it's not a bad team. Now, why haven't they gelled? Is it the new players, the players that they're still trying to get? All of those questions. Again, it's a long season. 2 years ago, they were very, very good, and they had some of those same pieces. So for us, it's going to be a tough contest. How they play after 2 disappointing results to start the season off, because I think they felt they could have got more out of down in LA. It's going to be a tough game.
How different will preparation be, taking it as the first game away from home of the season?
Same as all the road games last year. We are clicking in that regard. The VHID, the HID, all of the physical stats for the first 2 games, we actually increased on Saturday from our performance against Cincy. So that was impressive to see. So the energy that you guys saw out on the field, that was verified by the GPS units that all the players are wearing.
So when you see them start that way, come out gangbusters, the first 15, are you tempted to do that on the road, even though it goes against what you
No, for sure.
typically do on the road?
Look, it wasn't like we were defensively bad. I mean, look, the way we played against 2 forwards was we had the 2 center backs and Gustav right in front. That allowed Kelvin and Brad the space to go forward. Now, Chicago plays differently. Play with the sole 1 forward up top. So how do we, nuance that to the team? Those tactics, we'll work on that this week.
But you're not going to revert to your conservative road type?
No, we will try and find a way, watching them on film, to get a tactic together that we can start on the front foot. And look, if teams have to defend against us, home or away, that's always better.